60s. Okay. Some of the major top models in the 60s were Twiggy and Jean Shrimpton. Twiggy's real name is Leslie Hornby, and she was very popular in the 60s. The 60s started the trend of really skinny models, appearing in magazines, covers of not newspapers, but fashion magazines, and she modeled for Cecil G, a trendy place that people shopped at in the 60s, and Twiggy actually wore her makeup kind of like this, like liquid eyeliner, making the lashes seem longer, because she had these really huge eyes, and she was so thin and so skinny, and her hair was super short. So she started a trend, and many teens tried to look like her by making their eyes big and painting on lower lashes. I don't know if you can see it, but my mom did it for me because she used to do it too. And they also would wear fake eyelashes that would make their eyes seem rounder and bigger. And a lot of people wore the smoky eyeshadow look on their eyes. And Twiggy was known as the image of the 60s. Jean Shrimpton is known as the face, or the shrimp, and she had her own television show on the World in Action program, and camera crews would follow her in New York and in London while booking shows and getting assignments from designers. And some of the trends in the 60s were the waistless look, where it could be like an empire-waisted dress or a baby doll dress. It would just hide the waist. But one of the major trends was the trouser look for women, because women never really wore jeans or, trousers, of course. So these were low cut and they were looser, and they would, sit on the waist. I mean, it would sit on the hips and not on the waist. And also, you can get stretch trousers, and the materials that made the stretch trousers were wool and halenka, and also breed nylon. The trouser suits for women were actually originated in the 50s, but they didn't become accepted until the mid-60s. And stockings and suspenders weren't considered trendy because of the rising hemline. Because mini skirts were introduced in the 60s, and they were very short. They were well above 6 inches from the waist, and I have an example of a mini skirt. This used to be a pencil skirt, but I cut it and made it a mini skirt. And as you can see, it's really, really short. Like, I think my arm and like my elbow, it's like the exact same length from like my wrist to my elbow. That's so short. I mean, considering you're like, I don't know, covering stuff. See, look. If I were to try this on, I don't know. It's just really too short. Mini. Not everybody accepted this trend and nobody really thought that it was, that good of an idea, because, I don't know, it didn't excite a lot of people. But surprising because some venues actually banned miniskirts. Like you couldn't wear a miniskirt to a venue. That's really weird. But designer Andre Courageous made the miniskirt popular because it appeared in magazine Vogue in 1964. And designer YSL opened his own fashion house along with 160 boutiques called Rive Gaucher in 1966. And this was the first ever designer to develop ready-to-wear clothing on a large scale. And new materials were actually introduced in the 60s. And this fabric is called PVC. And it feels really plasticky and it's shiny. Yeah, so what I'm wearing right now is an outfit that my mom picked out for me because she was around in the 60s, and this tunic top, it's very loose. A lot of the girls living in the 60s, they didn't wear super tight things, and this head thing is by designer Pucci, and he was very popular in the 60s as well. And girls living in the 60s didn't straighten their hair. They just let it be like this, kind of like raggedy, and I don't know. And they wore bell bottoms. These are Levi's. Levi's are popular back then too, as they are now. And they wore big hoop earrings and beads like this and wooden beads. And yeah, that's fashion in the 60s.